So how you doing tonight, Coach?
Well, Travis McDonald feeds inside the ball, loose ball,
20, gets a good hole. He's to the 30, the 40, the 50, has one man to beat. He runs him over and he's out to the 50-yard.
Over to Agron. Olivia Perrin up to Bridget Dooley, top of the key. Passing to Dig.
There we go.
Big time volleyball by number 14.
Number 33, Michael Holdship. And number 42, Jake Ellens. And Keenan Cooper, one of the running backs I've been talking about, number 44. And number 46, Brandon Richards. Number 48, TJ Baker, the middle linebacker for Cadillac. Number 52, Hunter Smaker. Number 67, John Durga. And number 84, Cody Lux. So that's your starting defense. A lot of new names, a lot of experienced names. I think the defense for Cadillac is as good as I've seen, except that defensive line. But I think Michael Holdship will really help out the Cadillac Vikings this year. And we're going to get ready for the national anthem. All right. Mr. Pilkins and the Cadillac High School Band getting the show started here in Cadillac for the 119th version of the Cadillac Vikings, led by Coach Jim Webb and assisted by Todd Baker. And what a fun night, great night. It was rainy all day. The field, it looks like it's in good shape. It's got to be a little soggy from the rain that we took about 11, 12 o'clock.
Yeah, I think we got about 4 inches or so of rain, so hopefully we'll see how it absorbs. It's been reported to have absorbed it pretty well, so we'll see how that goes through the night. So yeah, nice night. Not real windy and not real cold, not real hot. Just a beautiful night for football, Cadillac.
Not as big a turnout as I was expecting. Cadillac Viking football has been solid the last few years, making the playoffs the last 4, making a deep run last year all the way to the regional finals where they got upended by Comstock Park, who is absolutely down this year. They got smoked by Zeeland last week.
Yep.
But basically John Glenn comes in 1-0. Cadillac's 1-0, 2 undefeated teams. Basically John Glenn beat Ogama Heights at Ogama Heights, and Cadillac Vikings obviously took care of Big Rapids and that tough CSAA opponent, Big Rapids.
Yeah, new week, new opponent. It couldn't be more different night and day. You'll find a basically John Glenn team that knows exactly what they want to do. Big Rapids, I think we're dealing with a new coaching staff down there, and that always takes a little bit of time for players to kind of get on the same page with the coaches. And they've got a lot of athletes down there, but still kind of formulating a way to put that all together. And Cadillac carved out their heart early in that game, and John Glenn is organized and typically really tough.
So Andrew Emmington with a big foot into that right at the goal line. That's something Andrew Emmington has really done well, especially towards the end of last season. He's gotten stronger. He's gotten his core strength, and I tell you, what a weapon to have be able to have a kicker that can consistently put the ball inside the 15-yard line in either corner, and Andrew's done very well with that for the last year and a half.
Yeah, a lot of that is, like you said, just growing into your body a little bit and getting strength in the leg. The wind helped that one a little bit. It's blowing towards the lake, and he knew that was going to be a factor tonight if we can get a couple with the wind, and I just told him when he goes against the wind, kick it low, baby.
So, all right, here comes Bay City John Glenn in their full package. They like to run a lot of misdirection. Little pitch out to number 4. We strung it out nicely. Good job by the linebackers, but I tell you, that was led there by number 44, Keenan Cooper, who turned that back inside, held the edge, allowed T.J. Baker and Brandon Richards come up and finish it up. Yeah,
you watch Bay City John Glenn play, and there are glimpses of them where it reminds you of Petoskey and just the way that it's just such a process with their offense. They do it with a tight T formation in the backfield, sometimes a wing T, but they just do the same stuff. They're going to pull a guard. They're going to trap your defensive end. They're not going to try to trick you a whole lot except for with their counter stuff. So they're coming at you. It's smash mouth football, and they do it pretty well.
Yep, 2nd and 6, hand off right behind, full load. And it's interesting to note that what they do is wide side. It looks like they're bringing Keenan Cooper. I noticed that last week to the wide side. They keep Hunter Smaker to the short side, and that's a testament to Keenan Cooper how smart he is. From a athletic and speed-wise, and they got Smaker, who's just the guy that just pins his ear back and get after it.
Yeah, absolutely. Keenan can make plays out there on the wide side and be disciplined enough to stay home if counteraction comes back his way and chase people down if he does have a little bit of a misread on something.
So 3rd and 4. Early into the game, first quarter. There it is. They wrap him up, 33. Michael Holdship off that defensive tackle. Slides in there, pulls him down for about maybe a 1-yard gain. That's going to force Bay City John Glenn to punt. And good news for the Cadillac Vikings.
It is. John Glenn's going to do what they're going to do, and Coach Baker's seen it. For as long as he's been here, he's seen kind of the same thing out of them, and he's got his kids well versed in their reads and figuring out which defense to call and which down. So if it's just going to be power on power, John Glenn's just hoping to wear you down and be able to turn 4-yard gains into 8-yard gains later on in the fourth quarter.
So, all right, basically John Glenn, 2 kickoff, first series. Cadillac stops and the defense led by Todd Baker and Ethan Myers and Jake Ellens back deep for the Vikings. This one's going to be fielded by nobody. They're going to let it bounce. And looks like John Glenn's going to down at about the 32-yard line. We're Cadillac Vikings. Jim Webb's led crew by Lewis Finch, the quarterback. They put up 58 points last week. I'd be surprised if they went 58 this week, but I expect in the high 30s anyways, because that's just the Cadillac Vikings offense that we've come to love in the last 3-4 years.
Well, we've come to love it because it's been effective, and it's actually a little bit of fun to watch. It's a nice mixture of run and pass, and Jim Webb is a technician when it comes to offense and figuring out different ways that he can put his personnel, his best players, his playmakers in a position to do well. He did that last week with Michael Holdship and Keenan Cooper and Nate Houck and Lewis Finch. And, it's probably going to take a little bit more of a passing attack than it took last week. This week, we'll see how it goes.
All right, handoff to the Battleship off that right side. It was chewed up pretty good by the defense of John Glenn. They're a little faster, and they get to the ball a little quicker than what Big Rapids did. And, that's just to break down a little bit of the offensive line. We're going to feel each other out. I do notice that Brandon Richards is a switch hitter. He changes his jersey from 40-something to 76 so he can be eligible on the line.
Yep. And, you'll notice with Nate Houck out tonight, he's not dressed. He's on the sidelines with the ribs. And that'll take a little bit away from the running game, just not only his ability, obviously, to run the football, but just the attention that he draws when he's not, too.
Yeah, so nice there. I noticed that the corners for Bay City John Glenn are playing off. I think the coaches recognize that. It's pretty much just a 7-yard run if they're going to play 10 yards off. You just do a little 5-yard hitch by the wide receivers. Jake Ellens, nice job catching the ball there. Nice throw by Lou, and bring up 3rd and 8 for the Vikings.
Yeah, Bay City's got one scout tape on Cadillac, obviously, as far as the game goes from last week, and there was just a lot of running because that's what we could do. So they're trying to just make us beat them some other way, and hopefully Cadillac's up to the challenge. They're going to have to wing it, throw it a little bit today.
All right, Lewis Finch, he's out scrambling, and he's going to be brought down for a loss of about 4, where I think that'll send the punting unit on. It was well defended out there. You could see right away, though, that John Glenn has a lot more speed, and they're a lot more disciplined, too, than what Big Rapids was.
No question about it. we've been impressed with them every year. Every year that we play them, them and Petoskey, just so impressed. And of late, Ogemaw Heights too, just the way that their coaches are able to implement what they want to do into their players, and their players buy in, and they just do it. They just go do it and do it well.
So nice snap by Keenan Cooper. Nice punt by the Battleship. Number 4 is out there. He fields it. 84 Cody Lux gets upended there. It was actually it was a clean. It was a little clean. Cody, if he would have stayed square to his shoulders, he kind of opened up a little bit, but nonetheless, only about a 5-yard return. Beautiful punt by Michael. Bay State John Glenn will start on their own 32-yard line, so we're just kind of switching possessions right now.
Yep, feeling each other out a little bit on the defensive side, and trying to figure out what's going to work on the offensive side, both ways.
Yeah, and this is, some of the players you talk about, like Johnny Alberts, number 7, who's the right corner just in front of your screen here. He reminds me a lot of the Tommy Cathins and the other, Aaron Wilkinson last year.
Yep.
You know, those guys have just come into their own as a senior. Johnny Alberts sat a lot last year, didn't get a lot of playing time because we had so much depth. And I expect Johnny Alberts and Jake Ellens to really come into themselves this year and provide a lot of toughness out there on the edge.
Yeah, I do too. We seem to always have a corner that buys into that role of becoming a specialist, becoming a corner specialist, and they have to buy into it early in their high school football career that this is what I'm going to do, it's what I'm going to be. I'm going to stick around and be part of this football team as a corner and learn how to do it and do it really well. And the names that you've mentioned have all done that, and Johnny's well on his way too. Well,
it's a lot easier too when you've had success in your program.
Yep.
So all right, Bay State John Glenn on that false start, hand off. Here we come around the house. Hold the edge. Good job.
Nice
Keenan
job
Cooper
right
held the edge.
Yep.
Number 7, Johnny Alberts came up, allowed all the scrapers, T.J. Baker and Smaker and Lux to come across the field, keep their line. That's the one thing Cadillac's done really well behind Todd Baker as well, is they don't over-penetrate. They stay on the line of scrimmage and they run down it. So good job by the Vikings.
They've become a real disciplined defensive football team under Todd's direction, and there's a lot of stunting. And don't think for a minute that those guys are just lining up over there and trying to find a football and go tackle it. There are specific things that they're assigned to do each and every play, whether it's slanting left or right or diving low or containing the edge.
Nice job.
52.
Oh. Yep, 52.
Hunter Smaker.
Smaker held his ground. Basically, John Glenn, they pound the run. Then they fake that counter, and quarterback went out there to try to pass. They scraped that tight end. Well covered by Lewis Finch and Jake Ellens, but Hunter Smaker really is the one that made that play, and it's going to force basically John Glenn into 3rd and long.
Yep, good coverage downfield. The D-backs and safety didn't bite on the play-action stuff, and nice job by Hunter to chase him down. A lot of collective team speed on Cadillac side this year.
Yeah. So here we go. Basically, John Glenn, something you don't see. They're in the spread package with one back set. Back to pass number 11. Oh, he overthrew it. Maybe that's why they don't pass very much.
That a flyer.
You would have needed LeBron James off a trampoline to catch that one.
Yeah, and he could. He owned the throw right away. You could tell he wasn't thinking that the receiver was making a different route. He just kind of airmailed it.
Yep. He didn't read it. It was just a designed pass, and it was well covered out there. So, all right, that will force Bay State John Glenn to punt. Now we only have one back.
Yeah, I like that. And I like the 2 back in some certain situations, but if there's just one, who's the guy that's supposed to catch it. And that last time, it feels like we kind of gave something away.
Fake. I don't like this.
I'm not sure it was designed.
I
think he didn't have time.
Did a good job covering it up. Keenan Cooper was there. T.J. Baker was there. Keenan Cooper's the one that actually turned him back, and T.J. Baker finished him off. So Cadillac's going to get the first break of the game. They're going to get the ball inside basically John Glenn territory on the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. And this is where Jim Webb is really dangerous calling up plays right after turnovers.
Oh, you get him at midfield, and especially with the wind and with the guys that he's got. He's phenomenal at that, and our guys have been good at executing it. You noticed on the first punt, the earlier punt, that the center, the snapper, takes a long time to get that ball back there. We weren't rushing that first one. Maybe they noticed that and had a little bit of a rush on.
So Lewis Finch, dual set, Michael Holdship trying to turn that corner.
Timing.
I like Michael Holdship north and south. I like Nate Houck on the edge or Cooper, but I don't, I've always said that. I don't like to see Michael Holdship trying to run edge to edge. I like to see him get into the second layer and start punishing people.
I think he wanted to get there. I don't know if that was 44, if that was a linebacker that was on a stunt or a blitz, or he did a nice job of pushing Michael deeper than he wanted to go for sure. And
it's all right. Ace back formation. 2 receivers down in the bottom of the screen. Ethan Myers up top. Lewis Finch back to pass. Not a whole lot there. Lewis Finch is going to take off running. The pocket kind of collapsed quickly. Nice bull rush by number 60 coming off that right edge. And Lewis, a lefty, saw it because that's the way he's facing. He had to take off running. Maybe picked up 2 yards, so it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Vikings.
Yep. Looked like Lou was thinking a little bit different pattern out of somebody there. I don't know if that was Keenan that he was talking to or not, but he was expecting somebody to be in the seam. It looked like on the right-hand side, nobody there. But just one of those things. There's no accounting for experience, and Bay City John Glenn's going to put you in a situation where you're going to get some experience this week that you didn't get last week. You have to make decisions faster, and guys have to be sharper on their routes, and everybody's got to do a little bit better job.
Design draw play to Lewis Finch, and
nice tough run.
Yep. Initial hit was probably after a 2-yard gain, picked up another 3, so I like the toughness out of Lou. That'll bring up 4th and 5, a little more manageable. I think you're still out of Andrews' range.
Yeah, 52, what would that be, 52 yards from here.
Yep.
So with the wind, but still, you don't want to give them the ball back on the 30-yard line.
So a big down for the Vikings right now. 4th down, 5 yards to go, 4:22 left in the first quarter. It's a 0-0 game against the always tough Bay City John Glenn. Michael Holdship is the ace back, going to protect Lewis. You got 4 receivers, 2 up high, 2 down low, looking to turn. Lewis Finch, nice job out there. Ethan Myers picked it up with the extra effort. Lewis Finch got a little antsy, threw it high, but I tell you, Ethan Myers went up and made a nice snag and then fought for the extra yard for the first down.
Yeah, what you saw there is, a little bit of patience out of Lewis after he looked like he tucked it and decided to run, and then he still had his eyes downfield, which that's a sign of a veteran quarterback. Lewis, even though he's a senior, this is really only his first time behind the helm as the starter, and so that's great to see that he's able to scramble out and keep his eyes up, and Ethan made a nice sharp turn back, planted his foot in the ground, came back, and left his defender deep.
Yeah, the game will slow down for Lou here.
Yep.
So, all right, T.J. Baker in motion.
Free play.
Yep, it was a free play, but I think if they cross that plane, it's automatically encroachment on Bay City John Glenn, which I believe will be the call. Yep. 5 yards against Bay City. It'll be 1st and 5. So that's a nice little bonus for the Cadillac Vikings. They're going to stick to that. It looked like they were handing off the Holdship again. They're going to stick to that bread and butter of trying to run right on the edge with the big back Holdship, with Nate Hauk out with a rib injury. Sooner or later, you're going to see that counter trade, and you're going to see Lou take off.
Yep.
Setting it up. So here comes T.J. Baker back in motion to the right side. Hand off to Cooper. Keenan Cooper right behind Holdship. And their linebackers and defensive line are doing a pretty good job. Everything inside right now on the run. It may just be we have to loosen it up a little bit with the pass.
Yeah, it's definitely going to have to be a mixture. And our line has got to do a better job as far as the assignment goes. It's always a zone blocking scheme in pretty much everything that we do. It's a little bit different things at the point of attack, but this is a great test for us to figure out, are we going to be able to block the Traverse City West and Centrals of the world, because they're going to be even bigger, faster, stronger than the down linemen and linebackers that John Glenn's bringing here tonight.
We'll take it one game at a time.
Yep.
And learn, we got a legal procedure there unless somebody lined up in the neutral zone. I have a feeling a back, legal procedure against the Vikings. That'll march them back 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8. I'm not quite sure. It might have been Richards who shook himself on that line. I'm not quite sure. I didn't see it.
Yeah, you may see the Vikings evolve a little bit as the season goes on into, incorporating some more play action into their own game, because those ticks half a second to freeze linebacker and linemen and defensive backs.
And there goes Lou Finch, designed run play for Lou. Nice run by Lou. Shows his strength there. He's got a lot of core strength. Got off that right side of Sam Denman, Zeb Boersma, and Matt Myers, and picked up about 5. He got the 5 yards back and to bring up 3rd and about 3, a long 3 for the Cadillac Vikings.
Lou's teammates got to love to see that, when their quarterback's not willing to get pushed back. Lou's going down and he's gaining 3 yards on the way down. This first quarter, that's been nice thing to see happen, and it just lifts his teammates up, seeing that their leader is willing to lay himself out.
Yep, T.J. Baker in motion. Lewis Finch around that left side now.
There we go.
He's got a little bit of a seam.
Beautiful.
Nice job. I didn't see anybody pull, so that had to be behind Brandon Richards. We got a Viking down on the ground. Is that Holdship getting banged up?
Looks like it.
So nice job by Lou. A nice pickup of about 8 yards to be first down for the Vikings inside the 10-yard line of, it looks like Holdship got himself a little dinged up.
Walking gingerly there. And
I think he sprained it. Must have sprained it. And
already one man down.
Well,
running
see,
back, and now we're two.
That's the thing. Cadillac Vikings this year cannot afford the injuries. You take Holdship, and he gets hurt. That takes away your best defensive lineman.
Oh, yeah.
So the depth is an issue this year that we're going to have to watch. And that's one of your running backs down, which puts Zach Hiscock and Keenan Cooper into the game. So you got two backups into the game at running back. So a lot of the load's going to go on Lou Finch's shoulders right now. Lewis Finch around that right side. He could score. He gets all the way down to the 2-yard line. So a nice job by Lou to see the seam. He got up the field, stayed on his feet, stumbled down to the 2 to be second and goal for the Vikings.
So one thing we saw last week with Lewis is his ability to make decisions and execute the option in both ways, to his strong left hand and also to his right, and pitching the ball when he should pitch it and keeping it when he should keep it. And again, he's fallen down. He gets an extra 3 or 4 yards and sets up the Vikings for a second down and about 3 yards to the end zone.
So the Vikings knocking on the door early. A minute left in the first quarter. You got Ethan Meyer split out up top. You got Jake Ellens down here in the corner. Holdship, Battleship. Nope, he's out. I'm sorry, Cooper and Zach Hiscock in the backfield. We got a flag. Did he move the ball too far? Or was it on 76 Richards again? What's the call here? It's got to be a legal procedure. Oh, delay of game against the Cadillac Vikings. 5-yard penalty. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't, without they need to put clocks up in high school anymore.
Well, it sure didn't seem like there was a lot of time being taken there between plays, but who knows? I mean, it's the official in the back of the end zone. If he started moving his hand, that's something Lou's got to see. Now I think we're going to burn a timeout.
Yep. A little bit of confusion on the field. Well, you'd rather burn it now instead of lose another 5 yards for something or miscommunication. It's second down and 7. You got 3 downs to get it in the end zone or put points on the board. You got Andrew Remington who can stroke 35, 40-yarders. So
I think the biggest thing is you've got Zach. You've got some inexperience in the backfield, and you want to take a timeout to make sure everybody's on the same page. I don't know if Zach was lined up in the wrong spot, but he seemed to talk to him when he came off the field. But the depth. We've talked about the depth, how fortunate we've been in the past years to have just so many guys at different positions that could play so that they could just specialize and be an offensive player and specialize and be a defensive player and just only have to cross over a few times. And like you talked about with Michael Holdship, you lose one, you lose a guy on both sides of the football. That's extremely valuable, and you're already down on the running back side. So it's going to be tougher for the Vikings to do what they've done in the past, which is have really strong second halves where we've come out and just dominated and won games in the fourth quarter because other teams were fatigued and we had fresh bodies out there in the fourth quarter. So hopefully you can overcome that with some different things and playing a little bit different pace. This group
has a lot of heart, and you've seen it for years, and they'll always battle and they'll always be competitive no matter what, all the way to the final whistle. So.
Absolutely.
We just want to stay healthy getting into the BNC, and that's a big key. So, all right, here we go. 2-back set in a little pistol look. Lewis Finch right up the gut, running hard. Going to take it down to about the 2-yard line, pick up another 3 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and 2, and the clock's running 41 seconds. We have to call another play. It'll be really nice if we could get in the end zone here.
Kick off before you lose the wind.
Yeah. Yep, that's what I was thinking. Get it in now before the end of the quarter.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll see what Jim Webb has dialing up. Ethan Meyer's going to split out high. We're going to be in pistol to the left. Actually, 2-back set, 1 on each side, offset. Little fake handoff, counter trade here. Here we go, option. They're going to pitch it out, and they're going to get Keenan Cooper in the end zone. So Lewis Finch read it nicely. Handed it out to Keenan Cooper. He took it in from 2 yards out. Touchdown, Vikings. And They draw first blood.
That's just great execution out of the Vikings, and especially out of Lewis Finch, being able to catch that ball, fake a handoff, fake a run, and then pitch it all, within about a 2-second period of time, and be able to execute all those things flawlessly, and then Cooper just take it strong into the end zone. Nice job.
And it helps that Lewis Finch is lefty too, going left.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I like to see that. So Andrew Remington on to try the extra point. Cadillac up 6-0 on that 2-yard scamper by Keenan Cooper. Lewis Finch the holder. Keenan Cooper the long snapper, I think. The snap is down, the hold's good, and it is through the uprights. Cadillac with a 7-0 lead on the Bay City John Glenn Bobcats. And good start. It's going to be the end of the first quarter, and we get a kickoff with the win, which is always a positive.
Yeah, you called that one. That was a nice call. Get it in the end zone with 9 seconds to go, so you can still kick it off with the win. But nice job of the Vikings to sustain that drive and overcome a couple of hiccups along the way, a penalty and an injury that we hope is not too serious to Michael Holdship, and stick that thing in the end zone, get an early lead 7-0, get some confidence going. Yeah,
he got taped up. I think he got a sprained ankle, turned his left ankle. I don't see him currently right now.
He's right down there by Evans.
Okay, yep. So yeah, he's back. He's taped. He's a tough kid.
Oh, he's as tough as they come. But
beautiful night here in Cadillac on the lake. Cadillac with a 7-0 lead. 12-1 since last year, and we want to make it 13-1.
It's been a phenomenal run.
Yeah, it's been quite. Cadillac's been really lucky. Even when you look at basketball, and Jeff McDonald will talk about this. The athletes he's had, from Brian Snyder to Johnny Simons to Ben Simons to Brugma and all those guys. And you look at Cadillac football, from Kyle Hinkle to Gary Silvers to Jalen and now Lou. You've had a pretty good string of quarterbacks come through here to hold the fort down. Obviously, it's an 11-man game, but programs are built on good athletes, and they just keep producing them. So, all right, nice job by Andrew with that win. He's booming them.
Get it up in the air, baby.
Yep, 2 touchbacks in a row by Andrew Remington. It's a good weapon to have because there's no run back, and the toughest thing to defend in high school, especially against speed, is that kickoff and punt. So, basically, John Glenn will start on their own 20-yard line.
Well, to piggyback on what you were saying, it's been a string of luck, and it has, but I think the saying goes, luck's kind of at the corner of the intersection of preparedness and opportunity, and, having the right guys in the right system. There's something to be said for that, too. There's a lot of talented players all over northern Michigan that are in systems that don't allow them to thrive, or for whatever reason they don't, and you just can't say enough about the coaching staff and just the entire system, not just the coaching staff and the coaches, but the players, the community, the fans, the Viking Touchdown Club. Everybody just kind of rallies around and has made this into something really special here in Cadillac, and that success, it kind of does take a village. If everybody's kind of pulling in the same direction, everybody's on the same page, from the administration to the coaching staff to the players and the parents and the community, good things happen, and that's what's gone on here, over the past 5, 6, 7 years.
I agree. At the end of the first quarter, Cadillac with a 7-0 lead. That last play was stopped nicely by the defensive line. I believe it was Brandon Richards that actually came from that linebacker spot on the right side to fill the hole. And it was a 2-yard gain, but it was a minimal gain. And right now, you really don't fear Bay City John Glenn from a passing standpoint. And if they can't effectively run the ball out, it doesn't seem like they have big play threats yet. I haven't seen it. Our defense is quick to the ball. They gang tackle really well. They swarm. And they're just kind of causing basically John Glenn's offense a ton of fits.
I'd be surprised if at some point here they don't get back to just what they want to do is just pound it. And if they have to punt it a few times, so be it. But allows them to control a little bit of the clock and the game, and they don't let it get out of hand that way. So we'll see how this goes, because it doesn't look like they have a passing game that's going to cause us a ton of concern.
Yeah. They're like one of those teams with a puncher's chance, and right there you can see Cadillac Vikings defensive line is just doing a really nice job up front on basically John Glenn's offensive line. Not a whole lot of running room, and that has a lot to do with our speed. And it's going to be 3rd and 5 now for the Bobcats. So he picked up about 3. Well, I didn't think he had that much. It's going to be 3rd and 5. Huh. But if they only get 2 or 3 yards, they're going to have to punt a lot or go for it on 4th down.
Yep.
So basically, John Glenn back into that full house. T-look. Power running off that right side. He's going to pick up 2 more yards. Swarm there again. Last in was number 20.
Well, so here's decision
number 20.
time.
That was Ethan Baker on the stop. It was nice to see him back from that injury in mono. And
I really think they're probably going to go for this and hang their hat on
just grinding stuff out.
Grinding stuff out. And, you know, with their offense, if they can't get you 1.5 yards on 4th down, they're going to say, you know, it's your ball. But that's the only chance I think that they feel like they've got to win the football game is to go 4 downs, 2.5 at a time.
I don't disagree. So this is a huge down. 4th and 1, 4. And he gets it.
Man.
They give it to him.
I don't know. That's
the guy over there. Oh, this guy did not give it to him.
Depends on which one of those guys is marking the spot, because this guy's a yard back from the guy on the other side of the field.
Defensive line did a strong job there. That was led by Durga. John Durga was the first one in there.
Football.
No way.
He's a yard short.
They're not even going to measure that.
Yep.
Basically, John Glenn wanted the guy sideline here to measure to be the spotter, but really it's this guy's responsibility to spot. They didn't. There's no way they made it. No. They're not going to measure it. It's just this is a waste of everyone's
time. What you had is 2 line judges that were completely off. You can see with the other guy's pointing right where he thinks it is, and he's a yard different from where the ball's placed right now.
Yeah.
So the ball, my understanding is if the ball's on this side of the field,
they're going to move this ball. Oh, Jim Webb's going to go crazy.
Wow.
Jim Webb's going to move the ball. Oh, he's going to go. I got it right on him. Jim's upset. I called that before it happened.
Wow.
Is that Stump down there calling this game?
No, it's a lookalike, but it's not. I'll tell you what, Jim has every right to be upset. I have no idea where the ball should have been placed, but certainly you have 2 line judges that are that far off. Wow. I'm not sure that you take the word of the guy that's on the opposite side of the field. Ball was run to this side.
That's a tough call.
But who knows?
That's something tough to chew on as a head coach when you're standing there watching it, especially if they get some momentum and go down and score, because football is all a game of momentum.
Oh, absolutely.
And so we'll keep an eye on that change of possession there, because we would have had the ball in excellent field position with all the momentum. Now you give basically John Glenn some life. Down 7-0 on the road. Clock's running, 2nd quarter, 2nd and 5. Coming out in their full tee.
The funny thing about that, where they respotted the ball, I'm surprised that they didn't get a measurement then, because that looked really close to the yardage marker.
Inside handoff. Ran over Ethan Baker, but he ended up hanging on and pulling him down. Rode the horse as long as he could. Pickup of about 10. It's nice to see Ethan Baker in the game, though, because it gives Lewis Finch a break, because I tell you, it takes a lot out of you to run the offense and run the ball, and how tired you can get.
Oh, yeah, and it's nice to just see Ethan back being able to compete after being out for a long time with a string of injury, this summer with his foot and having to sit out of summer basketball and some of football practices and things like that. Nice to see him back out there playing. And Michael Holchip's back in the game, too.
Yes, he's at the defensive line. Inside handoff to number 9. Number 8, he stays on his feet. Gets about 5 yards. Where now they're starting to it's almost like basically John Glenn got a little confidence after that first down. Now they're starting to move the ball. They're
going to go kind of a hurry up. They kind of feel like we have us on our heels a little bit and just jump back and get into the same thing. And then you got to be careful with this, because every once in a while they'll just throw in a little play action and dump it over the back of a linebacker.
And nice job there. Gang tackle on the defensive line, and linebackers came up. Bottom of that pile is number 84, Cody Lux. And Michael Battleship was in the middle of that. Durga's going to come out for a breather. Number 55, Mobley's into the game.
Brandon Mobley.
All 4'6" of them. The human bowling ball. 8:32 and ticking into the 2nd quarter. Cadillac with a 7-0 lead. Bay City John Glenn in Cadillac territory for the first time tonight. Little handoff, power play, number 4 stays on his feet. He's going to pick up the first down. He got tripped up there by number 33, Michael Holdship, but not before basically John Glenn picks up the first down, and they're moving the chains again. And I tell you, that one spot has a lot to do with what's happening right now.
Well, it does, and it may have been the right spot. At some point in time, Cadillac's still got to, you can't bend and bend and bend and bend and bend against a team like this, and they're going to get some first downs just because they're willing to grind it out, and be patient. And some point somebody's got to step up and make a play. And
inside handoff. I lost the ball there, but man, I almost feel like I'm watching Petoskey play.
Well, that's what we talked about. I mean, it's their process. The nice thing on their side of it, it's like our philosophy in basketball. We're gonna beat you 42-40 if we have to. We don't care. But they don't have a lot of plays where they're losing yardage or getting 0 gains. I mean, they're going to get some positive yardage out of things, and it gives their kids confidence. It feels like they're moving the defensive line back when that happens. They're fast to the point of attack. They cover up the ball well. You watch the running backs; they pin that ball to their front numbers every single time they carry it. They're not giving it up, and they just do it well. Their guys make the blocks they're supposed to make. They trap well. They pull well. They double team well.
Yeah, so Dominic Catalda in on that tackle right there, along with Cody Lux on that right edge. John Albert came up and cleaned house after the play, along with T.J. Baker, who's such a strong inside linebacker, smart. Yep. He's kind of the leader on that football field from a defensive standpoint. Yep. But you can see hands on the hips of Cadillac a little bit.
Well, they're definitely playing that grinded out game to try to tire us out. And at some point here, Todd Baker's going to dial up some things that make it a little bit tougher to run between the tackles. And obviously what you give up there's potential for a little play action over the top or something, but you can't just keep on taking it. You can't be the shrub all the time with the dog doing his thing on you for so long before
you just start
you got to
pulling your linebackers into all the gaps.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to start taking a few chances so that on some down you either got to get a negative yardage situation or at least a no gain so that your kids just don't feel like they're getting manhandled.
And this is what Petoskey and basically John Glenn will do to you, and then they'll sneak out a pass on you.
Yep.
After they pound, and 24 up the middle. He's going to pick up about another 5 yards on first down before I tell you, the linebackers are busy tonight, and they blew the whistle dead. 5 yards will be 2nd and 5 for basically John Glenn.
Yeah, I really don't think John Glenn cares whether they have the wind at their back or not. They're not using it anyway. It doesn't matter to them. They're going to run underneath you and beat you to the point of attack and make it tough for your linebackers to find who's got the ball. We haven't seen a counter yet either. That counter play scares me.
Yep, it's all power right now.
They'll do this, and then they'll try to hit you for a counter for a 25-yard TD.
Inside handoff. There he is. Ran up and over. I think Ethan Baker was the first one on the scene to stop him, unless Lewis came back into the game.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Ethan Baker that came up and made that stop. And T.J. Baker was right there too, but man, they are just chewing up 4 or 5 yards at a time, and that was a nice inside handoff. And it'll be a measurement, I have a feeling.
You got your defensive backs making plays on runs between the tackle. It doesn't bode well because that makes you susceptible to all kinds of play action pass situations, and it also means that up front we're either getting blown off, we're not getting low enough. The size we talked about before, it's an issue. If you're outweighed by 40, 50 pounds at a position, that's a tough thing to try to take on that block, but
it's hard to replace guys like Carl Weir.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And
just
Trevor
because of the
Martin.
space you can take up in line, and somebody's got to run around you instead of through you. It is a difficult thing. But
the only job Trevor Martin and Carl Weir had last year was to fill the hole on the defensive line.
Be moved, correct.
And they only came in on the offensive line when they needed a big package. So wearing us down a little bit. They're at the 20-yard line. Basically, John Glenn first and 10. Power again. Nice job there by 67, John Durga, who got in there off that right tackle side. First on the scene. Still pick up of about 3 yards, though. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the Bobcats.
John Durga, before this season is done, has got to step into that role of the guys that you just mentioned because he's the biggest, strongest threat on that defensive side to be able to do that between the tackles and down low, especially with Michael Holdship having some injuries and also playing a spot where he's really not used to playing. And Dirks can do it. He's a bus. He's a load, a truck. But you know, it's a lot's going to rest on his shoulders to be able to find the football at the line.
Power again off that right side. 43 there on the stop with Cody Lux. 46 Brandon Richards. 43 I think is Catalda Dominic. He's a junior. He's going to help this team from last year's JV team. And, you know, that's something to talk about, too. Cadillac's younger program, the freshmen in the JV. Right now they're 3-1. The freshmen are 1-1. They won last night at John Glenn. And then you got the the sophomore class, the JVs, who haven't had a lot of success, but they're 2-0 this year.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Our teams, I think we're going to get our break we were looking for.
Well, yeah. That's the only thing that's going to stop a 3-yard, 4-yard team is, you know.
Well, a 5-yard penalty is huge against a team like that. Now you put them in 3rd and long, and you know, this is where you got to be wary of a little play action, but hopefully you're ready for it in 3rd and long.
But you know, they're in 4-down territory. I have a feeling.
No question.
You know,
but this is the first 3rd and long that they've had on this drive. They've been in 3rd and short situations since they started out on the whatever it was, the 30, 40-yard line.
So 3rd and 9. They've chewed up about 8 minutes of this clock. They've had the ball for the whole second quarter so far. And right in front of the camera, you see that. Mr. Brooks is on top of it, killed a spider. So 3rd and 9 for the Bobcats. Passing over. Picked off by Jake Ellens. There's the turnover. He can go pick for 6.
Oh,
beautiful hit by John Durga. Jake Ellens is going to go all the way 80 yards.
No
touchdown.
flags. No flags.
And
right,
Cadillac
Jake
gets the break. The holy cats, John Durga absolutely laid the wood. I hope I got it.
Too. I do too, because that's a highlight.
I think I got it. I'm not quite sure. But wow. Jake Ellens takes it 85 yards.
You know, you gotta, you know, that whole series right there. Grind it out, grind it out, grind it out. You take. You give up 3 yards here, 2 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards. That just wears you out. But then one simple penalty on their end makes it 3rd and 9. They've got to be forced to do something that they're not real comfortable doing. Get out and spread your guys out and throw the football. And then a good team capitalizes when you make a team do that, and ours did. Yeah,
I might have missed it. I'm not quite sure. I was watching the hit that Durga laid on the offensive lineman.
If you missed it, that's all they're going to talk about. Ooh, he missed that?
Nope, he made it. So, Andrew Remington, perfect on the night, 2 for 2. Cadillac with a 14-0 lead after that highlight of Jake Ellens. The tip ball, the tip drill comes into effect. Jake Ellens takes it the distance, and that's, you know, John Glenn was in control until that illegal motion, and then they felt like they had to go to the pass, which if I was their coach, I would be second-guessing myself now, because you could tell right away that quarterback is not a very accurate, throws high, doesn't throw real well, and kudos to the defense of Todd Baker and the luck of Jake Ellens being in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely, and to have the hands and then the feet to get to the end zone. You got to pull for that kid, man. He's made himself into a fantastic athlete. Probably lacrosse maybe his #1 sport. I know he'd love to play that in college, but he's got a lot of tools. He's fast. He can jump. He's spatially aware of where he's supposed to be at all times. He's got great hands. He's a good basketball player. Good defender.
Yeah, and you know he's got something that a lot of kids on this team don't have, and that's like big 6'2".
Oh yeah, I mean he's grown. Because he used to be tiny, and he's grown, and so it is amazing what happens when you all of a sudden get that little bit extra height and a little bit extra weight on your body, and an athlete like him, you know, they make the most of it. And Jake's just a great kid. You got to pull from him. He's got a great heart, and he's not afraid to lay you out either. He'll hit you.
So I don't know if I got it or not. It's hard to do commentary and tape, but I did get him running down the sideline.
Well, if we didn't get the Durga hit, Durga was a great hit, and I'm sure his coaching staff got it on their camera.
He just absolutely lit that kid up. So, all right, Andrew Remington into the win this time. Let's see what he's got. Oh, he kicked it. It's going to come inside the 10-yard line. He's going to take it there. Up the field he comes. Nice job there by 72. Sam Denman first on the scene at the 20-yard line. Cadillac will come back on defensively. Bay City John Glenn. Here's the story now. You only got 3 minutes before half. Bay City John Glenn has proven they cannot throw the ball effectively. I don't know if you can get down the field running the ball 3 yards a shot.
Well,
you might get to the 40-yard line.
What you may see here is a little mix of run and some play actions and some counter and see what they can do out of it. Sam Denman, interesting. You know, it'll be interesting for me to see how long they're able to hold him away from being almost an every down defensive player. Here he is now in being summoned, and you know, with the smallness that we have on our interior defensive line, he's going to have to play a lot on defense.
24 off that left side. Nice job there by Cody Stillwell, who held his edge. He met the tight end. He stayed there, did not give up ground, allowed all the pursuit to come in and fill that hole. And nice job, Cody.
Great to see Cody grow into that role too, and start to feel confident in what he's doing out on the edge. He's another one that's just he's grown. He's made himself a lot stronger in the weight room and has bought into here's what my job is, and I'm gonna go do it and do it the best of my ability. So
the defensive line shifting, anchored by Mobley and John Durga with Smaker right there. Fumble on the play, and Cadillac has it. Dewey? Yep. I thought T.J. Baker pulled it out of there, but he must not have. But that defensive front of Mobley and Smaker, 67 Durga, along with Sam Denman in there now, doing their job on the defensive line. 2 minutes and 30 seconds and ticking. 3rd and long for the Bobcats. 26, Dan McMurray, who had a really nice interception in Big Rapids. He's playing that outside edge right now.
Yep.
Outside linebacker position.
Well, I think teams are going to find that it's tough to get around the edge on Cadillac just because of the collective team speed, linebackers, defensive backs, everyone get around the edge, and I think where they're going to try to hurt you is between the tackles.
So here we go. Quarterback's rolling out. Not a lot there. Boer's going to turn it up. He's going to be met there by the linebacker. Boy, I got to start watching then through the viewer instead of watching the game. Well, it was nice hit by TJ.
Well, it was a nice run by the quarterback, too.
There's no way they're going to punt this away. Yeah, I guess I just got to watch the viewer. I can't watch the...
I think they might punt it away. I just think that they're a lot more apt to want to go in down 14-0 than something potentially worse, but who knows? I guess it's only half a yard.
Well, they have to kick off, too, to start the second half. So not only are you down 14-0, you're going to put Cadillac's offense, who hasn't seen the field since the first quarter.
I tell you what, I don't know who's got the timer, but this has got to be awfully close to delay. They're going to have to take a timeout.
Yeah, they're going to start the count here.
There's no chance they're going to get this thing off.
1, 2.
Yeah, he's calling timeout.
Yeah. Yep. So that'll be a timeout on the field with a minute left before half. Cadillac with a 14-0 lead. Somewhat, I haven't seen a ton of offense, but our offense has only been on the field, I think, 2 possessions. It's been mostly a defensive game. I'd like to see what our offense can do when they start getting tired, because they have a lot of two-way players as well.
Yeah, sustained. We haven't had to have a long sustained situation. The one where we took over about midfield and were able to finally stick it in. That was a pretty decent drive where we had to do a lot of different things to get in the end zone. But yeah, this last one, defense has just been on the field, it seems like, for the last 15 minutes.
So, all right. Looks like our color guard for the band got new flags. I thought we were black and gold, or blue and gold.
Maybe that's Reed City.
Oh. I know there's been a lot of debate regarding the Vegas gold and everyone upset about that and what's going on, going back to the yellow. And, I care either way. It's irrelevant to me.
I haven't been
Vegas
privy
gold
to that debate. I didn't know that there was a...
Yeah, I guess the superintendent said we're going back to blue and gold. No more Vegas yellow or Vegas gold, whatever they call it. Whatever. I don't care. Irrelevant to me. Because somehow the colors of Cadillac have switched. I don't know where Vegas gold all came from, but I like it. Oh, pick it up, Ethan. Good job. And he's going to be tackled there at the 25-yard line, which, there's nothing wrong, because if he'd have just let it go, we'd been at the 10. So he did a good job picking it up.
Yeah, he wishes he'd have, kind of more attacked it and came and got it. And
should have let him
will.
out.
Yeah, he will.
He'll figure that out.
He does.
It's all right. Cadillac has 54 seconds left in the quarter, the half, they're up 14-0. I mean, do you air it out? You just run the ball and see what happens, or you throw a couple passes up the field and see what happens?
Jim's never been one to be shy before halftime, trying to get a quick score on the board and really kind of start to tap a nail into the top of a coffin. So we'll see.
So he's got 2 receivers down low, 2 receivers up time. Michael Holdship, Lewis Finch back to pass. He's going to have to take off and run. He's scrambling. Anybody downfield? Throws the ball.
Nice. Oh, jeez.
Dropped by Ethan Myers, who I think he tried to run before he caught it.
He was turning to the inside. He was going. But nice job by Lou to keep his eyes up again as he's rolling to the outside.
So yeah, he had Ethan down there, and it'd have probably been only a 15-yard gain, but he still would have put him around midfield with 47 seconds left because we have 2 timeouts.
Yep.
Actually, we have all 3 of our timeouts. So it looks like we're going to pass again. Sometimes you run the delayed draw with your quarterback here in this situation. Lewis Finch out the pass, and that's going to touch the ground. He had Michael Holtz, or was it? Yeah, T.J. Baker out there in the flat. Threw it a little low.
Is that Brandon or is that TJ out there in the flat?
That was TJ out there in the flat. They're not going to throw that ball out there to. So Lewis Finch gets the play. He's going to bring it in. I got a feeling it's going to be a 4-back set, 2x2 with Holdship protecting Lou. Nope, 2-back set. We might just run it out here. A little pistol look. Nope, Keenan's coming out. So Keenan down on the slot. Ethan Myers, bottom of the screen. Jake Ellen's up top with TJ in the slot. Lewis Finch is going to roll out. Lou's going to throw the ball, and it's going to be picked off by Bay City John Glenn. It's going to be off the hands of Ethan Myers, off the helmet of 44 Cooper, and nothing but net. Turnover by the Vikings, which I don't think that really, well, yeah, they got 36 seconds and 2 timeouts, so they're going to have the ball on the 35-yard line of Cadillac. So you give them life.
Yeah, and really shouldn't have been that way. You know, Ethan will catch that pass 9 times out of 10, that very first one, and we'd have been marching our way down the field trying to either set up a field goal or get ourselves in the end zone. But a couple of miscues and some nice pressure on the quarterback by John Glenn. And
well, at least there's only 36 seconds left and not 3 minutes and 60 seconds left, so or 4 minutes if that's what 60 seconds is. So, all right, quarterback number 11.
They're going to burn a timeout.
Wow, you come out after a timeout, oh, man, or a turnover, and have to burn a timeout.
Before running a play.
Before running a play, that hurts a team.
Or did they just take the delay?
Procedure,
they just took the delay, or was it procedure?
I don't know what's going on now. They're going to. I'm confused. I'm as confused as the Bay City sideline.
No, they must not have. They must not have made them take the timeout.
Delay a game, maybe. I don't know what it was, but in any case, it's 1st and 15 on Cadillac's 40-yard line. Ace back formation. Bay City John Glenn going to throw the ball, I guess. 11. Oh man. They can't throw the ball worth a crap. They are bad. That's Charbonneau, the coach's son. What is he, 2015? So he's a senior this year. See, that's the problem with Glenn's program, though. You really don't develop a true dual threat quarterback. It's just run,
it's
and then
a system thing, and it's designed to be able to be competitive with, you know, whether you have good athletes, subpar athletes, big guys, fast guys or not. This may be picked. Yep.
And Lewis Finch with it. Oh, they got pass interference.
Really? Who was it going to be on? Because
Lewis Finch intercepts it, brings it back.
Well, are they going to call this on?
Wow, I don't know.
Must have been on the D-back. Huh.
I don't know. I didn't really see it, but that was
Is that Jake on that side of the
Yeah,
field?
it was, but I really didn't think there was that much contact. Actually, Johnny Alberts.
Yeah, I didn't either, but
which is only 15 yards in high school, but still, that would have ended the half. Lewis did a nice job of stepping out of bounds at the 40 or 35-yard line or 40-yard line, but
I think they're maybe discussing, was this offensive? Was it a push-off? Or They had 3 different officials that threw a flag down there. I'm guessing they all saw the same thing.
Holding. Holding and what? I'm confused. I'm really confused.
Just going to offset.
I'm just confused.
Holding again.
It don't matter.
Defensive holding. So they're calling that instead of pass interference. I'm
So
guessing it was still on Johnny.
It's a spot foul though, holding, right? See, pass interference is 15 yards. Okay, I was going to say spot foul I thought was holding, unless it, I'm not a real football guy. I just kind of watch it. They take 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, or what are they doing? That's a 15-yard penalty at that point, if that's the case. Or is it a spot foul?
I'm not sure. I mean, they would have to.
That's a 15-yard penalty. Line of scrimmage was at the 40. They're going to confer and pull up the, I think, the book.
They're going to measure this for a first down.
Maybe they're going to pull out the MHSAA referee guideline.
There was measure this for a first
there was
down.
Holding downfield,
so they would go from the line of scrimmage,
which is 10 yards, right? They got 15 yards on that play. They got a first down out of it. What are you doing?
They're going to throw a credit card in between the ball and the down marker.
I guess. I don't know. I don't care.
That's funny. Nope, they didn't get it.
Second down and 1/8 of an inch.
Not something you see every day.
No. So.
So 15-yard holding penalty.
A 15-yard holding penalty puts basically John Glenn at the Cadillac 25-yard line.
Maybe it must just be defensive holdings, 15.
I don't know. I don't know. I thought holding was the same offense, defense. Anyways. We're having a huge conversation, which is probably benefits Cadillac a little more because our guys on defense can get a break. I'd like to know where this officiating crew's out of. Not sure what all the confusion is. And I think
Maybe
Jim Webb down there wants an excuse or explanation as well.
Well, it seems like this question developed from the other sideline over there, so whatever they're talking about seems like
they want a spot foul is what they want. A holding spot foul? Isn't it usually a spot foul on offense when it's holding? Front of the line or behind the line? If it's 5 yards deep, it's a spot foul.
Not if they didn't have possession of the ball though. We intercepted.
Oh, you're
right.
You're right.
They couldn't get a spot.
You're right. You're right. I don't know. You know.
At any rate, the sun looks beautiful over Lake Cadillac.
Yeah,
it's
another
out there catching fish.
Real calm night here in Cadillac. 22 seconds to get to the half. I thought we were going to get there a little quicker than we are, but it's almost 8 o'clock. And here we go. We're going to get maybe they had the wrong ball in there. Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe they used the wrong credit card.
Yeah.
Nope. We're not quite ready yet.
I guess there's still some discussion on what's happening here. The Bay City coach is really working the side official.
The ball, the guy who was holding the number sign over there, was supposed to be where the ball is still 15 yards back.
Well, he didn't want to move because that was the original line of scrimmage.
Right.
Now he's got 4th down on his board.
It should be
2nd and 1/8 of an inch.
3rd, right? Because that was 2nd and 15.
On a hold, you got to replay the down.
Oh.
Right. So all right, here we go. Back to action. 3rd and 1.
3rd down.
And the pass is incomplete. John Durga was
and Michael.
Yep, Michael Holtship and John Durga was pressuring the quarterback, and boy, are they bad passing team. Jeez, jeez.
Yeah, it's too bad we couldn't get another score in there that really would have made them come out in the second half and try to play at a pace that they're not comfortable playing at, but
they
wasn't to be.
They beat Ogama last week by 2.5 touchdowns, throwing twice.
Yep.
So, they don't want to throw the ball very much. I think they completed one pass for 12 yards. So they had 12 yards passing. That'll bring up 4th and 1, even though, okay, this is what's confusing me now. It's 4th and 1, but the yard marker's on the right side of the first down. Let's get that. I mean, it's 4th and 1, but they got a first down without even gaining a yard. Is that what I'm looking at?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, so, all right. They got their yard, but man, oh man. We got some bugs to work out here at the Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Their head coach is still not happy with whatever has transpired over there. I think he thought, like you did, that it should have been second down. And he may also be telling him that that they already had a first down. He's not happy. Yeah,
well, what's going on right now is you're letting the officials dictate the temperament of your team as a coach. I mean, you're not going to replay the last 2 plays and get the officials to change their mind and go back and say, okay, let's put 23 seconds back on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't let that be the focal point of what you're trying to do on the football field. You want your team to stay poised. I think as a coach, you got to stay a little bit poised as well, and just let your team know, hey, we're here to compete, and let's just move on. And no, I did not get that on tape, even though it reminded me a lot of Sheboygan basketball coach there for a second, who's now I think a assistant coach down at Olivet. So, all right.
Dan McMurray in the slot. Good to see Danny back playing football.
So 11 back to pass across the middle.
Ooh.
Got him. It's going to be a first down. It's going to stop the clock with 10 seconds left. They got a little slant pass action going. They didn't have another timeout, did they? Oh, yeah, because it was a penalty. So they take a timeout. Here's the thing, though, with 10 seconds left. You got a 14-0 lead. Basically, John Glenn has to go to the end zone. They can't come up short because you're not going to get another playoff. So if you're going to take your shot, you're going to take the shot in the end zone, in my book, right?
Right.
So I'm going to put 5 DBs wide with my linebackers playing 5 yards off line of scrimmage and just spread the field, play zone. You got to be careful of that slant in a zone. But I just don't think this quarterback can throw 2 of those balls in a row.
No, but it's nice to put pressure on him, too, and make him feel like he's got to rush it a little bit. And you just hoped you could do that with kind of a normal bull rush with Michael and John Durga trying to fight their way in there instead of having to actually commit to blitzing. And
so, all right, 10.5 seconds left in the half. The last minute of this half is taking 20 minutes in dog years.
This has become like a baseball game all of a sudden.
Yeah, so all right.
4-hour affair.
They're going to the spread package. They got 2 wide, 2 high, 2 low. They got a protector for the quarterback. Number 11, watch the slant. They got 1 shot at the end zone. They try to throw it. Oh, and it's incomplete, and they got a flag in the end zone on 7, Johnny Alberts. That was high. He didn't, unless he had his hand on his back, I don't think that was pass interference.
I don't know if Johnny was touching him or not. He seemed to have good coverage. He was tight on him, but who knows?
Pass interference on Cadillac in the end zone. So that puts it on the 1.
7 seconds, and
or is it put on the 5?
I think it's half the distance. When you have that kind of a penalty in high school, you're going to go half the distance each time.
So you got 2 shots at the end zone. Would the guy have to go under the truck and get the ball? I don't know what's going on here. I am utterly confused. All I know is
this football game has become a little bit.
It all started with that drop pass by Ethan. At the 2.5-minute mark of before half, Ethan dropped the pass, and then heck broke loose. the last 2.5 minutes of this half.
Well, maybe the drop pass is a result of a spell that had come down or something. It just does feel eerie and all of a sudden like a Halloween night or something.
Well, it feels like if they put it in here, everything you've done the first half.
It's a totally different complexion of the start of the second half if they're able to punch one in here. So, yeah, the Vikes need to figure out a way to stiffen here for 5 yards, 7.4 seconds. And
this is like a 3-beer drive. Jeez. So not that a lot of young guys know what that means, but you will. So, all right, Cadillac defense. Michael Holdship on the defensive tackle. You got John Durga inside. But our defense has got to be fresh right now.
I look for a pick action with these two.
Smaker.
These two guys on the outside on our end.
You
inside out and outside in.
Yep. You got two shots at the end zone if you want them. Number 1, back to pass. Oh, and he gets drilled there by Holdship. Or Smaker, whoever it was. Hello.
Halftime.
Sack ends.
Coach Baker's a little happy. Was that Hunter Smaker that got him?
I have to go back to tape. It was either Holdship, it was either Durga or Smaker, but I think it was Smaker. I could be wrong, but man, he just lit that quarterback up. And at the half, Cadillac up 14-0. They escape the red zone. Cadillac will get the ball to start the second half, John, and right now, that's kind of a heart killer for basically John Glenn.
Yeah, you're knocking on the door down there, and that's just a crazy ending to a crazy second part of that first half. And kudos to the Cadillac Vikings and to Todd Baker. I don't know if he drew up a blitz or if that was Dirks or somebody just coming off the line. But nice job to stiffen, not let him get in. Now we get the ball at the start of the second half and hopefully put this team away.
All right, so you heard it here. CCTV, Jeff Brooks, John Emmington, Cadillac with a 14-0 lead on the Bay City John Glenn Bobcats. We'll be back for the second half.
CCTV is now on Facebook. From your homepage, simply search CCTV and then click on Cadillac Community Television. From there, you'll see a lot of interaction between the staff and our viewers. You can watch videos of CHS Sports, you can also watch Cadillac City Council meetings. Check out our photo section for a programming schedule. Find ways to contact us at CCTV and watch CCTV-themed videos. CCTV on Facebook, Cadillac Community Television, channels 97 and 98. And before you go, don't forget to friend our page.
Emmington and the Cadillac Vikings here on opening night in Cadillac, up 14-0. And John, Cadillac at the half has a staggering 41 yards of total offense and lead the game 14-0.
Yeah, crazy first half. Really only one drive that Cadillac had the ball for, and we scored on it. That was probably all 41 of those yards was that scoring drive. The other time we were 3 and out on our first possession, and the only other score came on Jake's, pick 6 from 85, 90 yards, whatever that was. So
yeah, Lewis led the way, 6 rushes for 35 yards. Holdship, 2 rushes for a -6. Which is kind of rare for Michael to get stopped like that in the back. Cooper had that 1 rush for 2 yards on the touchdown, the beautiful play that was set up by Lewis Finch, the Iron Man. Passing, Lewis has 16 yards passing, 6-2 Jake Ellens, and 10 yards to Ethan Myers. But the overall play of the game so far is by 2 individuals. Jake Ellens with the pick for 6, the 90-yard pick for 6, and John Durga with the frickin' lumber job out there at about the 45-yard line. I hope I got it on tape. We're going to be talking about it for a long time, but I can't believe the kid walked away from that truck.
Yeah, that was quite a hit. I would add Hunter Smaker's hit at the end of the half there as he came through the line and planted the quarterback about 15 yards deep to end the first half. That was a huge hit out of Hunter also. But yeah, you really got to, there really hasn't been much offense to get excited about, but we really haven't touched the ball very much. So we talked about John Glenn being a lot like Petoskey, where they want to control the ball, control the pace. They were able to do that part of it, especially the second part of the first half. And they probably feel like they've wore us down a little bit, and we'll see. We'll see how that goes without the depth that we talked about. See how this squad can overcome that, and maybe they have to be in a little bit better shape than teams have passed or something, because you got a lot of guys who are going both ways out there. You got a couple of key injuries that we're having to battle through, so we'll see how the second half happens. It's nice to be able to get the ball, and we really need to sustain a drive or get a quick score out of it, put points on the board to get them down 21 so that they have to then pick up the pace and do something they don't really like to do, which is spread people out and throw the ball.
Yeah, and, at the end of the day, the reality is Cadillac's the team in the beat in the Big North. We are the reigning Big North Conference champions. If you want to win the Big North, you got to go through the champions. Cadillac's got the championship mentality. They got the championship belt in Cadillac right now. So we are the team to beat. Everyone's going to be gunning for you. Gaylord's going to be gunning for you because they feel like they have a good squad this year. Alpena wants you. Traverse City Schools wants you. Petoskey's going to be a huge heated Big North opener up in Petoskey next week. And so Cadillac's just, they got to clean some things up. Got to defensively get after it, find their roles, and I think we'll be okay against a lot of teams our size, like Bay St. John Glenn, and it'll be really interesting against Petoskey next week, and then as we get into the Traverse City Schools.
Yeah, absolutely. You really hope this second half that we're able to, have the ball in our possession a lot more than we had in the first half, so you can start to work on some of those things against a team like John Glenn, who's going to stunt you and do a lot of blitzing and fire on the edges and things like that to make sure that our kids can handle that, because there are some bigger Big North teams coming, as you alluded to. It's going to be a season that every week going in, you're going to be challenged in the Big North. Every team from top to bottom has some strengths and can compete with every other team in the Big North this year, so it should be a real fun campaign.
Yeah, so I like what they've done here. I think Jim Webb and Todd Baker have alluded to the fact that they like to squib or line drive it maybe. They got everybody up, hands team. Jake Ellens is deep, and Ethan Myers, and Jake Ellens is going to pick it up. He's going to stay on that far sideline. Up the sideline he goes. He's going to get tripped up there at about the 30-yard line. Durga wants a penalty flag thrown. Not sure what happened over there. A little testosterone, nothing wrong with it. That's why they call it football, not soccer. And Cadillac will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line with a 14-0 lead.
Yep, so here we go. We get, I wouldn't call it a short field, but you got 70 yards to go, 68. Let's see what the offense dials up here right out of the gates and see what kind of...
And I will do a better job of videotaping. Sometimes I'm out of practice. It's my first game.
I told Mrs. Ellens that you might not have got the interception for a touchdown. She wants to talk to you afterwards.
That'll be fine. So handoff to the Battleship, who's back, and right on the ankle, out. But that linebacker came in there, Michael Holtship, with a nice pickup of about 5 yards before he's cut down there just across the 37-yard line. Be 2nd and 6 for the Vikings.
Yeah, that particular situation, Michael was able to get north-south a lot faster, like you talked about earlier. That's the strength of his game. Get your shoulder pads turned upfield and go, and nobody was in the backfield sitting on him.
Yeah, that was right over Zeb Boersma, too, and T.J. Baker leading the block. And, T.J. was a little bit off the line early. There's a nice job of Ethan Myers, a nice pass. Ethan Myers off to the races. Nice spin move, gets pushed out of bounds there at about the 37-yard line. Nice connection between Ethan Myers and Lewis Finch, and Cadillac's moving.
Well, looks like all the planets are aligned again, and Ethan Myers is back to being Ethan Myers, catching the ball and doing some things with it after he catches it. And that's what he gives you, just a real athlete that can catch it and then have a sense for where defenders are coming from behind him and turn a small gain into a big one.
So, all right, Cadillac rolling now. They're in basically John Glenn territory. 1st and 10. Two-back set. T.J. Baker in motion. Lewis Finch going to option out to Holtship.
Nice decision.
Holtship's not going to be arm tackled. He's going to get around the corner and punish the defender before he gets pushed out of bounds for another Cadillac 1st down just across the 25-yard line. And this is kind of the Cadillac of old now that we've been gotten used to watching the last few years.
That's 3 fantastic plays in a row, just with the doctor, just what you want to see at the start of the second half. And imposing your will, with a inside run with Michael, and then a pass, and then a run to the outside of the option with Lou executing that, and Michael running some guys over.
So Lewis Finch, 2-back set, 2 receiver set, hand off to Holtship right off the net, met there by the linebacker. Wow, you don't see the Battleship get.
According to the
get
guy
stuck up like
pole,
that
though,
too
we
often.
had the 1st down already again. So.
Yep. But that, number 60, that was a strong, he stood Michael up. Usually Michael's running guys over. But Michael picked up the first down.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, Michael, yeah. And I'm sure Michael knew exactly what he had to get for first down and knew he was far enough.
So, all right, two-back set. Battleship with Cooper. Lewis Finch in shotgun. T.J. Baker in motion right to left. This one's for T.J. He's out there in the flat. He's got T.J. He's going to take it in, baby. Touchdown, Cadillac. Get it in there. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He was on the 10.
Now you're looking through the lens.
I'm looking through the lens. So, TJ, I was trying to give you a touchdown, bud, but, I can't see through that 3-inch circle.
If we were playing in Canada, we'd have been in.
Yeah, it's 20 yards deep, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, all right, it was a nice setup by Lewis Finch. He got the ball out there right where, TJ could take off running. First down inside the 10-yard line, 1st and 9 for Cadillac.
That's one of those plays that, has stayed in the playbook through all of the old Veer stuff and all the stuff that Jim's done throughout the years, that little late drag across the middle by the tight end.
Design run by Lewis Finch around that corner.
Nice.
And he's going to get down to the 5-yard line where it'll be 2nd and 5 or 2nd and goal to go from the 5-yard line. Cadillac knocking on the door. And if they could put the ball in here, I think you just put a ton of pressure on a ball control offense that, just might not have enough time in the rest of this game to get back in it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The score here will be huge. And you just put all kinds of pressure on John Glenn to say, hey, how patient are you willing to be down 21 points?
So 2nd goal, Lewis Finch back
he's
to pass.
wide open.
And he threw it high. Oh, almost picked off. That went through the hands of Ethan Myers.
TJ or
he had TJ in the
TJ?
Yep, he had TJ.
Yeah, TJ was standing with nobody around him for quite a while on that play action. They bid on it.
So Jake Ellen's going to bring the play into Lewis Finch. It's going to be 3rd and goal. I got to believe this is 4-down territory. You run it off tackle with the Battleship or run a little option play. They've already proven they can't contain that edge with Lou, especially going right or left. I think they're going to probably option left here. You can always go back to your bread and butter, and there we go. We're going to option out, and Lewis Finch is going to take it in. Touchdown, Cadillac. Lewis Finch off that left side. You just put a lot of pressure on the defense to contain. Yep, and Lewis Finch takes it in from 5 yards out.
Nice job. Nice mix of offense going down the field. Just a lot of really nice plays out of skill position players and set up by some nice blocking execution.
So, Cadillac with a 20-0 lead. Lewis Finch is going to hold the extra point pending for Andrew Remington. Snap was high. Lou pulls it down and through the uprights. Andrew sends it for a 21-0 lead, and you just put all kinds of pressure on basically John Glenn now to get back in this game. And they're going to have to do it with a mix of through the air and on the ground. They're not going to be able to grind it out anymore, and I just don't think basically John Glenn has it in them.
No, you'll see here, too. I think this is a spot where you'll see Coach Baker get a little bit more aggressive in his defensive play calling and start sending some guys. You're up 21 points. You'll take a few more risks that you weren't willing to take before and pin their ears back and see if we can get a turnover and a quick score and put this game to rest real early in the second half.
So, all right, impressive drive there by Cadillac to start the second half. They've only had 3 series the whole game. They've scored on 2 of them. And Andrew has the wind again, so he should put this deep into the end zone. So, all right, actually a pretty nice crowd now that
It's thickened up.
Yep.
I think a lot of people
came a little later.
They pinned game time at 7:30 instead of 7 o'clock still, just from the old days. But, it's thickened out a little bit. Got a nice Cadillac crowd here. And John Glenn didn't bring a ton of fans, but they brought a respectable amount for an hour and a half.
Their program's been down the last few years.
Yep.
And Andrew Remington sends this one deep down to the goal line. He's going to bring it out. He's across the 20-yard line now, up the sideline, pushed out of bounds about the 23. Held him up. A lot of testosterone in one small circle. So nice job. I think Keenan Cooper was in on that. And the Cadillac defense will come back on the field. Bobcat offense to start on their own 22-yard line. And a little shout out to the ball boy, Evan Ferrito, sporting the number 9 tonight. So John Glenn.
TC West and TC game tonight. Just heard updated in the press box here.
The TC teams are playing?
Yep. Yeah, they're playing at Thurby.
Really? Oh,
Yep.
they switched that because they were too afraid to play one another at the end of the season.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, it always seemed like the person that lost that game never got into the playoffs.
Right.
So they all whined about it,
Yep.
and they want to play each other's second game of the season. I mean, seriously, it's like the biggest game of the year. Wouldn't you want to be at your best?
I would think so. You'd think you'd want to make it count.
But
It's
that's
like Michigan, Ohio
I
State.
tell you,
You don't want to play that game.
Traverse City though for you. They can't figure that out. So all right, back to the game. 2nd and 8 after that 2-yard gain. Inside counter play right there. A nice job. 28 stayed home. Dan McMurray, 26, stayed home.
Yep.
Discipline there by Cody Lux and Dan McMurray. Gain of about a yard. Bring up 3rd and 7 for John Glenn.
Yeah,
And
here on this drive, now they're 3rd and long now. This just bodes really well for the Vikings to put John Glenn in that type of situation as opposed to 3rd and 1s and 3rd and 2s where they were driving it down on the throat a little bit.
And John Glenn, they don't have a lot of pep either right now. You can see that their body language is just, they're on the verge of, I think, completely melting.
Yep.
And John Glenn, 3rd and 7. Here's a pass. They got 32 across, and nothing. And they completed out there to 32. He wasn't trying to throw it to him. He got hit.
Yeah, I think he was throwing it deeper, and a lot of things had to come together on that play. All did to end up in a completion. It looked like he was going down from being sacked, and then it looked like the ball kind of came out of his hand weak, and
that
it
was
did.
a lucky play for them.
Yep, it was an underneath route that happened to pick it up, so they'll take it. Unfortunate for the Vikes.
Yeah, I mean, they really don't have a large variety of pass plays. They have 2 sets, one that goes that play you saw, and then they'll run a running back out into the flat. But they're back to their full house spread. Number 4 off that right side. He's going to get swallowed up there by Smaker. And that'll bring up 2nd and 9, a gain of about 1 for the Bobcats. Smaker on the spot there off that left edge.
How big is Hunter Schmaker to have to play that position that he's having to play? What's his size?
Yeah, it's strength.
185 pounds. He's undersized, but he's made a lot of plays. A lot of plays last week, a lot of plays tonight.
Yeah, especially none bigger than the end of the quarter if that was him, end of the half.
Yep.
So all right, inside handoff again, and right off that left side, dragging defenders. Finally, 52, Smaker, who ran that line, hauled him down again. He's had a busy night tonight. So 3rd and short for basically John Glenn. A 3rd and a manageable 4, which I have a feeling right now being down 21-0, you're probably in 4-down territory for John Glenn. Late substitution for Cadillac. Keenan Cooper into the game. Going to play that right outside linebacker position at the bottom of the screen. Dan McMurray up top. Inside handoff right behind the big boys, and they're going to pick up the 1st down.
Tough running.
Yeah, spinning and knifing his way through the defense. Looks like 84 Lux was in there. And
Jordan Wheeler into the game for Brandon.
Yeah, 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at almost midfield. Handoff again. They're a steady dose of medicine. Off tackle, off tackle, off tackle. Boy, how'd you like to go to a Petoskey John Glenn game? Oh my gosh, I want to poke my eyes out.
No, I'll stay home and watch reruns of Mrs. Doubtfire or something.
Yeah. So another exciting 3-yard gain, as Bob Euchre would say.
Just amazing how those that 3rd down conversion on John Glenn's part just kind of they weren't doing anything on the ground. They pick up that, I think it was kind of a broken play that they got a first down on, and just gives them a little bit more.
Fumble.
Gives them a little confidence that, they're still moving, still driving, and all of a sudden they're picking up 4 and 5 yards of carry again.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the break. That's almost like a holding penalty, a fumble.
Oh, yeah.
They just lost it.
Well, this game has been a game of breaks. You think about when Jake Ellens had that pick 6, John Glenn's driving. We're only up 7-0.
Yeah.
They're driving. They're on the, 20-yard line, 30-yard line, heading in to tie the game up, and all of a sudden it's 14-zip.
This game is going to set up an interesting matchup between Cadillac and Petoskey next week. 2 teams undefeated for the 3rd year in a row, going to be going into the first Big North game. And boy, watch the pass. 24, there he is. Oh, they got holding out there, so good job. And he throws it away, but that's the inability of John Glenn's quarterback. I mean, he had a receiver wide open who came free out in the flat, but he didn't pull the trigger, and then they probably got holding out there.
I would think so. Outside the tackles there. Looked like, was that John Durga chasing him down, and along with one of his cohorts out there. They're going to accept the penalty and march him back a little bit, which I don't disagree with that. It seems like every time you put John Glenn in position to pass, we have as much chance of catching it or causing a loss, sack for a loss, or anything else.
So, all right, they're going to march him back, yeah.
Below the knee.
Oh. Yeah, that's a no-no anymore.
Certainly is outside the tackles.
Especially 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no wonder they accepted that. So, because it would have been 4th and 7, and it's still, 4th and 7 or 3rd and 25, it's the same thing for John Glenn.
Right.
It's now you just put him in a position where we might be able to pick one off. So 3rd and a long 25 for basically John Glenn. They're going to go to their spread package. One problem is they have a quarterback that can't throw it past 10 yards. Number 11 back to pass. He's going to throw it up. It might get picked off. Oh, and it's nicely well defended by John Alberts.
Wow. I tell you what, that quarterback got laid out. He still made a phenomenal pass. That thing was right in the bread basket. Johnny did a nice job of being in the right spot, and good for him because Johnny's been the recipient of a couple of tough calls tonight.
Yep.
And not sure John knew that the ball was coming, but he sure timed it well, put his hand up and got it on the football.
So, all right, back deep for Cadillac is Ethan Myers and Jake Ellens.
Watch how slow this snap gets back to their punter.
Not a real
Short.
Good punt. It's going to be
Fireball,
short. A little poison. It's going to be out of bounds there at the 35-yard line where Cadillac will take over 1st and 10 with 4:29 left in the 3rd quarter. Our offense going to come back on the field, and I think one more score will put this one to bed for the rest of the night. And we probably only have 120 or probably 40. We got probably 100 yards of total offense right now.
Yeah, I think you got about 60 or so out of that last drive, and it was a really nice drive. Hopefully you can do that back-to-back and start to build on something going into next week in Petoskey.
So Lewis Finch in shotgun formation, 2-back set, 2-receiver set, split, hand off to Keenan Cooper around that left side. He's got some room. He's got some speed. He's up across the 50, can break one more tackle, stays on his feet, gets pushed out at the 45-yard line of Bay City John Glenn. But nice speed and athleticism, shiftiness out there, and tough to bring down in the open field.
I've seen Keenan go down the ski slopes. Looks real similar to that. Just getting out of steam up, and he's got thighs that look like tree trunks and can move laterally with power and has the ability to break it. He's going to have some big games and big gains.
So all right. 1st down and 10 for Cadillac. Lewis Finch off that right side. He kind of slithered his way all the way down to about almost the 40-yard line before he's hauled down there.
Where did that look like Jalen Brooks special there? Just
kind of slithered his way.
And find a little bit of a seam and punch your way into it. You'll have to text Kevin Whitmore here and find out where we're meeting before the game.
Oh, my gosh. That guy just doesn't shut up on Twitter. You should see the... It's crazy. We're talking about our favorite P-Town alumni who, his son's a stud. Just ask him. But anyway, back to the game. Option. Nope, he's going to throw it across to T.J. Baker, who comes up across the 20. Nice pass. Nice, well set up play.
That's play action stuff it's going to be effective, you know, especially when you got a healthy Nate Houck and a healthy Michael Holdship, and those linebackers have got to respect the fact that Lewis is sticking in their gut. Doesn't take much space. Yep,
that's a first down for Cadillac. And I'm going to have to delete some tape from basketball. I've got 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left on this tape, so should have.
What are we doing it on the old millimeter stuff?
No, it's
running film.
It's just the hard drive. So Lewis Finch out options to Michael Holdship made something out of nothing there for maybe a yard gain. We'll be right back. Touchdown reception by Lewis Finch. You never let hockey families borrow your video camera because they never bring it back deleted. So I had to delete some film, got it back just in time to watch Andrew Remington kick the point after attempt, but it was a 29-yard pass by Lewis Finch to Michael Holdship. Touchdown Cadillac. They put this one to bed. The hold. The kick is good, 28-0, and Cadillac's rolling now.
It was a nice little, nice design play. It was a college-type set. I don't even know what that's called out there in the flats when you go to the receiver or to the running back that had come out of the backfield and hit him out in the flats after a fake handoff. But it was a nice design, and then Michael in open space. There's not a whole lot of guys who are going to volunteer to step up and try to tackle him in open space.
Yeah, you got it on the iPhone anyways, didn't you?
I do.
So, all right, we got the highlight, Lou and Michael. I just don't have it on video, so you're just not going to be on CCTV. There'll be plenty more where that comes from later on in the season.
Make them earn it.
Yeah. I forgot I let Briggs's use it to go tape Patrick in hockey. They taped like 8 games.
Oh.
I was like, man, what's all this hockey?
That's like 100 hours.
I know.
And 3 goals.
It's like watching a soccer game. I mean,
the World Cup. Oh. Well, great second half so far.
Yeah,
for the Vikes. I mean, just
you've got a little more rhythm to your offense.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
What was the applause for?
I'm not sure.
They were clapping for somebody. Not sure what it was. So, Andrew Remington with the wind again, up 28-0. Sporting the classic windshield on visor on his helmet. Boots it.
Shorter kick.
Yep, going to be fielded at the 10-yard line. Here comes John Glenn. I'd wait for your blocker. And he's going to be hauled down there just across the 25-yard line down to the 26. John Glenn will take over 1st and 10, down 28-0. And it's doom and gloom for basically John Glenn, I got a feeling.
Yeah, they're going to have a tough time making up 28 points with just the design and what they're good at. But
their body language is just telling you that they're kind of waiting to get on that bus, too.
I got to believe there's a little bit left because they're just such a proud program, proud coaches over there. They're not going to let their kids quit. But the nice thing on the Viking side is it allows you to rest a few kids, going into a huge opening Big North game next week up in Petoskey. Let some kids.
Definitely a big week because Petoskey, you've put the hurt to them 2 straight years, and they're going to be looking for some revenge. And basically John Glenn still running hard, like you said. Pickup of about 11 yards. That'll be a 1st down.
That kid is a tough running back. He doesn't look like he's got a ton of size to him, but he runs underneath people and spins.
Keeps his pads low.
Keeps going well. He's spinning and running low, and he's caused us a lot of fits. I don't know how many yards he's got tonight, but
this is where you want to get out of this game without an injury as well.
Right. That's what I mean. The
Yep.
ability maybe in the fourth quarter to rest a few guys, some key guys in some key spots. And, you know, if this game does finish up the way that it looks like it's going to.
Uh-oh. Oh, and just got dragged down there by Jake Ellens. That kid was off to the races. Yep, the middle linebacker, T.J. Baker's coming back in. Here comes the battleship. Mobley's going to come out, 43. Cataldo and Ethan Baker's going to be pulled out. Going to get talked to.
It's the learning process.
Yep.
You know, you give them some rope, and then you got to pull it back a few times, and kids start to understand, man, my assignment is pretty important on every single down.
Yeah, because you don't want to give them any big runs.
Right.
And I'm sure Todd Breaker like a shutout here. They've only allowed 13 points on the season. I'm not saying that Big Rapids had more than 13 points in them, but you know, from a coaching standpoint, you hang your hat on how many points you give up in a season. And right now, he's pitching a shutout, and I'm sure he wants to stay at a shutout right now. Todd Baker.
All of a sudden being attacked by mosquitoes.
Yeah, I see that. Hopefully they're nice mosquitoes.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
So, inside handoff. Get the pile pushed. It's first down 4. Bay City. Hopefully they get caught up in all the cobwebs. No? Boy, where are they coming? I mean, these things are like pterodactyls.
They're
pretty big.
Sizable.
All right. Bay City John Glenn. 24 seconds left in the third quarter. Cadillac with a commanding 28-0 lead. First down and 10. Handoff to number 33. Ran into his own man. Boy, they just like to push that pile, don't they? Yep.
Yeah, they're going to keep working on getting better. I mean, they obviously still want to win this football game, but with only a quarter to go, they're definitely going to make sure that they become a better football team going into their third week of the season too. And
so at the end of the fourth quarter, Cadillac with a 28-0 lead. Right after this game, there is a party out at John Emmington's house. He will be selling insurance policies on the deck.
Bring a pen.
Life insurance, car insurance, whatever you need, we'll insure it. We just won't insure 19-year-old dogs.
No.
Where'd you get that?
Burial policy only.
Is that Wayne?
Yeah.
All right. And the band playing Sweet Caroline. Nice Neil Diamond classic back in the old 70s. Boy, we're going to have to shut these windows. I'm getting tired of this.
Need bug spray.
Yeah. I hope you have your deck sprayed. This could be crazy. I might not show up.
Because
well, we tried to get a little Sweet Caroline in there, but Phil can shut us off. Back to the game. Basically, John Glenn on the third 29-yard line, inside handoff. Oof. Nice push by the offensive line there before he's hauled down close to a first down for Bay City John Glenn. I'm almost thinking that Bay City John Glenn is just really wanting to get a score, and they're just going to go back to what they do because, you know, obviously I think this game's out of reach for them, but there's things you need to build on as a program. You're 1-1. You still have a shot at making the playoffs if you just get back to your – they were in this game until they had to pass.
Yep.
And that one mistake where they had a holding penalty, which cost their driver that illegal procedure, really changed the whole complex of this game.
Yeah,
if they could have just
able to move the ball on the ground like this against football teams, they're going to be in a lot of football games. They're going to win a lot of football games. They've got a few, things that they've got to figure out, just to get a little bit more of a flavor to their offense. But boy, they sure do. Their point of attack, their power stuff, they do it well. And so does the team we're going to play next week. You're going to go up there and see that stupid half moon where everybody's following the lead blockers through the hole and everybody knows where it's going, and we're just going to beat you to death.
Well, according to Whitmore on his Twitter account, they did throw the ball 6 times last game.
Wow.
I mean,
that's an
impressive
That's
display.
an air attack in Petoskey terms.
It's a spread offense. It's all right, 2nd and 3, 10 minutes and ticking. Uh-oh, back to pass. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. You better run it or throw it away. And nice play out there by Keenan Cooper. Minimal gain, but still a gain of about 3. 8 took a big shot from Cooper. It'd be 3rd down and 1. So, and 3rd and short's playing right into Bay City's hands.
Yep.
All right. Defense digs in. Offense digs in. Power lead. Head down. He's not even looking for a hole, is he?
No, he's just going. He's riding right on the rear end of his lead blocker and going. And
He had his head down.
yeah.
He just... So Sam Denman on that stop for Cadillac. 1st and 10 for Bay City John Glenn at the 10-yard line. 1st and goal. This is where I like to see Cadillac with a big 4-down stop right here. Time to really dig in, defensive line. Led by Smaker and Denman. Holdship. And they're pushing that pile. Just a mess in there. Down to the 5-yard line. Another 5-yard gain. Bring up 2nd and goal. So John Durga. Sam Denman. Anchoring that line right now. It's man-on-man football. 2nd and goal. Handoff. Wow, nice job there. I don't know who met him. It was a defensive left tackle. They've been subbing guys in and out all night. It's tough to try to figure out who that was. It's a sea of blue, though. So Michael Holdship back in. I think it was 64, Jordan Wheeler, that maybe got in there. I could be wrong, no. 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. Power play.
Oh, nice stop.
They're going to stop at about the 2.
All right.
So it's going to be 4th and goal. Oh, they're going to give an automatic 1st down.
You know, the problem with that is that everybody's running backwards and nobody wants to let go because you're going to fall on your face if you do. So it wasn't anything malicious on the part of the Vikes.
The whistle blew and then he took him down. I mean, I get it. But, you know.
That's tough.
So the whistle blew. They went another 3-5 yards and then dragged him down.
First down. That's the whole issue with it.
Personal foul against Cadillac. Half distance to goal. Be 1st down on and goal on the 1-yard line. So I think that pitches the shutout right there. Unless they get a really, really big play.
Why are they still saying 3rd? So it wasn't a personal foul?
Yeah, it should be an automatic 1st down personal foul, right?
The coaching staff is asking the same thing. Maybe
I don't know.
They called something.
I don't know. 3rd and 2 though. 3rd and goal. He didn't get in.
No.
They're on that. They're on the 1.5-yard line. So it's going to be 4th and less than a 1 with 8 minutes left in this game. And boy, this would be huge if we could keep them out of the end zone and keep the shutout. But I got a feeling our offense is done for tonight, at least our first team anyways. Power handoff, touchdown, Bay City John Glenn. So they break the ice. They get in from 1 yard out. That extra down really helped them. 7 minutes left in this game. I'm going to get out of here. At least I'm taping the whole game. Last week, you only got like 2 quarters.
Well, I was over in the first, so I take an extra quarter.
And I hate this. This is so. I hate this. You know, just line up and kick the football.
Hey.
The thing of it is it should only be effective in situations where it would matter if you went for 2. I mean, basically he doesn't care whether they get 1 or 2 out of there. Even if they scored 3 times and got doubles on all of them, you're only going to have 24 points. You're down 4 scores. So, like you said, line up and kick it or line up and go for 2, but no need to get tricky in those situations where it really doesn't matter.
TC West is getting beat 28-10. Wow, and I thought TC West, but I tell you, they really have some coaching issues in the TC system. Oh my gosh, those guys! Can you imagine the athletes that those programs have had over the years, and they can't make the playoffs? I mean, or if they do make the playoffs, they go get handed to them by Rockford. I mean, those guys are pulling out D1 athletes. They got 3 D1 prospects on the front line. You're getting beat by guys that aren't even going to college. How do you do that? You're just not a very good coach. I'm just sorry. That's just the way it is. I mean, you can't be.
Well,
how do you have the talent they have?
Back in the 80s, they were when there was one Traverse City school. They were a football powerhouse for years and years up there.
They can hang their hat on that all they want, but
yeah, since the split, it's been tough for them.
Yeah, but they field 1,700 students.
I don't feel bad for them, believe me.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether to clap or not when they announced the score. I'm not real fond of either one of the schools.
Neither am I, but it amazes me how West can sit there with 3 D1 linemen on their team, and they got 10 points. You should run over guys.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Nice recovery.
Yep. Hands team was in. I was on my rant for the night.
Who was that, TJ?
TJ Baker came up with that.
Nice hands, T-Bone.
So.
Fielded that like a shortstop.
All right, so Cadillac's offense go back on the field. I got to believe your first team offense is done for tonight. Nope, maybe not.
I don't think so. 7 minutes ago, you're probably going to go another series here. If they're able to punch it in, then yeah, they're going to be done. But remember, they only had really 1 series in the first half.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So there's probably some things that Jim still wants to see in live action.
So, all right, 2-back set, 2-receiver set. Lewis Finch back there with Michael Holtship, going to hand off to Keenan Cooper, who's the leading rusher of tonight. Nice cut up the field for about 5-yard gain by Keenan before he's hauled down there. And maybe Lou's still leading rusher. He hasn't had a whole lot of rushes, only 7 or 8. But that's what's made, I think Cadillac's going to be kind of dangerous this year. You alluded to it at the beginning. You know, the last couple of years you've been able to key in on one guy and you just, you put 9 in the box. This year we got athletes spread out. We got running backs that can make things happen, and we've shown that tonight. Oh, nice snag there by Ethan Myers. Kept his feet inbounds. Nice throw by Lewis Finch. First down, Cadillac.
Nice job of by Lewis, too, to be able to look off the other side of the field and kind of look the D-back away. Come back to Ethan's side, and a nice job by Ethan to haul it in. Get at least a toe down.
So, all right, Cadillac Vikings moving the ball on basically John Glenn's 33-yard line. 1st and 10. Cadillac's up 28-7, 6:54 left in the game. 2-back set. Shotgun formation for Lewis Finch. Hands the ball off to Michael Holtship right up the middle. The Battleship picks up about 6 yards before he's hauled down there.
Michael made a little ballet move there.
Yeah, he did.
Jumped through the hole, yeah.
I like that.
He's got a little fleet of foot, not just a power back. Not just another pretty face out there. Can dance a little.
Second and 5 for Cadillac. Matt Myers under center. Sam Denman to the right.
I love the fact that Jim Webb doesn't want to take any time here. He's just not trying to slow it down and just milk the game and end it.
And we're running the option out to Keenan Cooper. Oh, he fumbles the ball, and it's going to be recovered by Cadillac, but Cooper did not solidify the ball there. No problem. Loss of about 6 on the play to bring up 3rd and long. Actually bring up 4th and long now. 3rd and long, I guess.
Not something that it's great that you didn't turn it over. You can learn a lesson without turning that thing over, and he's going to secure that thing a little better next time.
Yeah, he'll get talked to about that.
But, a lot of coaches would just sit here, and
kind of run it out.
Well, just take your minute every single time. And Not Jim. We want to get better. Every snap is an opportunity.
So Lewis Finch.
Nice.
Out there to Cooper, who kind of made himself available. I need a...
Had he got lucky and turned the other way, I mean, he couldn't see where the... I don't think that was Keenan. Who was that? 40?
I'm going to have to delete some more hockey off this thing.
Oh, that was TJ that caught that.
Hey, yeah, 4 minutes left again. I'm going to have to delete another segment.
Well, hopefully we get in the end zone.
Yeah, hopefully we get in the end zone when I got it turned off, deleting. That'll be par for the night. I wasn't well prepared this year. I've been slacking a little bit. I would have had this all deleted. So Lewis Finch back to pass. Got a big rush across the middle. Nice throw there by Lewis Finch. That'll be a first down to Keenan Cooper. Nice strike there.
Yeah, it was. Nice pass right on the money, and nice catch by Keenan with his hands out in front of him. Didn't wait for it to come into his pads.
Now our second team offense is coming in the game.
Yep.
Wholesale change now.
Good deal. You get your first team off and make sure that they're healthy for next week. You certainly wouldn't want to get anybody hurt that you need for next week when you're up by 3 scores with 4 minutes to go, 4.5.
So it's a first down for Cadillac on the 15-yard line. You got 81. Morgan Caldwell down, split down low, up high. I think you have, I'm not sure, I can't see. Handoff to, who is this? That has to be Myers, Joe Myers, running the ball off that left side. He's hauled down there by basically John Glenn after no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Vikings. We got 2 minutes left in this hard drive, 4 minutes left in the game. I have a feeling I'm going to have to delete something here. Andrew Remington into the game at the wide out, bringing the play in. Maybe if we can score here real quick, I can get it deleted before we kick off.
Down under 4 minutes.
2-back set, 2 receiver set. Andrew Remington down low. Here we go, option play. 20's going to kick it out. Ethan Myers to number 19, Zach Hiscock.
Lift those legs, Zach. You'd had 6.
So it's actually Ethan Baker into the game at quarterback.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you're right.
Yep, so Ethan Baker, the junior. We got a minute. Come on. I'm going to run out of tape.
That was Tyler Barcheski who ran the ball?
I didn't think so, but I could be wrong. You got 19, Zach Hiscock, and I think you got Joe Meyer. Yep. Isn't that Meyer back there, 30? Yeah, it's Joe Meyer, so it wasn't Barcheski, it was Meyer. Barcheski's in motion. Here comes Joe Meyer around that left side to get a seal. He's going to run across the 10. He's going to get knocked down there, and we'll be right back. Remington, Cadillac with a 31-7 lead. You know, it's just par for the night. Never hand out your video camera to a hockey family. 2:20 left in this game.
On hockey.
Yep. So nice kick by Andrew. He had probably another 15, 20 yards on that kick.
He's made his legs stronger and had some accuracy from last year. So definitely done a nice job tonight.
But you got it on your iPhone.
Got it on the iPhone.
So, Andrew, your dad got you covered. 31-7. It was all Cadillac tonight. Couple early breaks, got the momentum. Big 90-yard touchdown pick for 6 for Jake Ellens. You know, Lou managed the game tonight. Your football's down, Andrew. There you go. But, you know, Lou managed a good game. He was really accurate. There was probably only 1 or 2 throws that he was off on out of the 10 that he's thrown tonight. He's been really accurate.
Yep.
And Keenan Cooper so far is his favorite target.
It was a nice mix of offense tonight. There's still a lot that has not been really exploited. A lot of, hit out of bounds.
Oh,
Andrew. Still not a bad penalty in high school football. You get it to 30 or whatever.
You know,
35.
you got to clean that stuff up, Andrew.
What were we talking about?
I don't know. You got a lot of things to work with and a lot of things.
Oh, yeah. There's still a lot of offense. You know, Jake Allen's, every time I see him line up and he's only got single coverage up there, I'm thinking at some point in time, he's a tough matchup for defensive backs. You got Ethan Myers on the other side, and combine that with the 4 running backs that you've got. And yeah, they have to do it in a little bit different way because you don't have the big beef up front that's going to block for everybody. But there's so many things you got to account for on the defensive side. So offensively, I think we will be fine. Defensively, we showed tonight that it's a team can really run between the tackles. But at the same time, we only let up 7 points to a pretty decent football team that does that. So overall, fantastic night for the Vikes.
Yeah, off tackle, and they don't go away from it. But you got second string defense in, and was there a flag that was thrown? Yep. What was going on there? Flag thrown on the play, pickup of about 9 yards. Nice job out there by Tyler Barchiski. And Morgan Caldwell in on that tackle. Holding against Bay City John Glenn. That'll move him back. That'll be a loss of 10 yards. That'll bring up, well, it's a spot foul, so I guess it'll be replay first down, 1st and 11. So, all right. Looks like Bay City John Glenn has put their second string into the game as well. I don't know if they got another quarterback in. No, 11 still playing the game. Off tackle, off tackle, off tackle, and off tackle. Pickup of about 6 yards. Bring up second down. Morgan Caldwell going back there handing something to the official. I'm not sure what it is, but
it was a fortune cookie.
A fortune cookie. So 74 into the game for Cadillac. Brandon Mead anchoring that line up front.
$1:23 to go. Good opportunity for some of these young Vikes to get some time, experience. Nice job, nice stop.
Nice job out there by number 54 for Cadillac. And we don't have a 54, so who was that? So hard to see that blue. Who was that out there? Was that 84? Was that Cody Lux? Yeah, it was Cody Lux. He's still in the game at right edge. 64 is into the game. Jordan Wheeler on that line. Devin Hauk, that left outside linebacker position. TJ Baker still in the game. Inside handoff there. And 64 ends up cleaning that up. Jordan Wheeler on the tackle. It'll be a first down, which will stop the clock at 36 seconds left in the game. 1st and 10 for Bay City John Glenn, and they have no interest in airing the ball out.
No, they're just going to run it out here, get a play or two in, and call it a night. But great second game for the Vikings, 2-0, heading into Petoskey next week.
Contain. Good job out there by 86, Morgan Caldwell, who came in. A little extracurricular activity out there by number 43,
Cataldo.
So, all right, good second game for Cadillac. A tougher opponent than what Big Rapids showed us, and it will be the show next week for sure. We are going to get hot and heavy in the Big North with Petoskey on the slate next.
On the road.
Yep. And it's been 2 years since Petoskey's beat us when they had old Joe Robbins. Touchdown Joe, they called him, who's now at Grand Valley starting wide receiver.
Yep.
Nice job there by 55. Finally, 84, Cody Lux cleans them up. 55, I tell you, that was a nice job by Brandon Mobley to stop it, and the clock will run out on Bay City John Glenn. Cadillac with a 31-7 victory here. First home game of the season. Party out at Emmington's tonight. Good job, boys. You'll be watching this later. Impressive win. Stay after it and get after Petoskey. John, I appreciate your help tonight.
See you next week, man.
Yep, take care. Cadillac wins 31-7. Have a good night.
So how you doing tonight, Coach?
Well, Travis McDonald
That
feeds
one,
inside
takes
the
it to
ball,
10,
loose
he's out
ball.
to the 20, gets a good hole. He's to the 30, to 40, to 50, has one man to beat. He runs him over and he's out to the 50-yard.
Over to Agron. Olivia Perrin up to Bridget Dooley, top of the key. Passing to Dig.
There we go.
Big time volleyball by number 14.